away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away. Oh, hey guys. Well, I guess since you're watching, let's Chicle chat about it.
Chicle?
Welcome to Chicle Chat. It's your boy Chicle, and I haven't said this in a very long time, but we are back with a Broadway review video. You guys have been requesting this one, and we're gonna do a Broadway review video on Hamilton. Okay, fine. I already saw that years ago. It's the one in Reno. I don't know if you noticed, but I also got merch. I usually don't get shirts for musicals, but with Hamilton, dude, I had to get a shirt. I had to get a shirt. Come on now. So this was at the Pioneer Center of Performing Arts in Reno, Nevada. This was a national tour, part of the Broadway season that they usually do. They do like 5 musicals a year, and they usually run for like 2 to 3 weeks. So this musical is going to close this tomorrow, actually. So if you guys saw Hamilton in Reno, please let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy the musical? I hope the answer is yes. And before we move forward and talk about Hamilton in Reno, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button. This is not supportive, this is. And also, hit the subscribe button for more content. I'm very sorry that I had to push the Q&A like a couple weeks, because I thought, you know what, I want to do a review video on this, and you guys said, yes, let's do a review. I decided to push that back, and then I wanted to do a review on a Netflix musical that's coming up next week. So, we will do the Q&A the day after Thanksgiving. So, if you guys want to ask me any questions for the Q&A, I'm still taking some questions. So, please submit your questions in the comments below for the Q&A. And with that being said, guys, let's talk about the Broadway musical. Well, shouldn't say Broadway musical. I would say the national tour of Hamilton. I want to first talk about the cast that was performing during that performance that I saw on Thursday night in Reno. And we're just going to go a little bit off, you know, the order of the character list. So, like, Hamilton will be like 5th or 6th. I don't know. Anyway, just to give you guys a heads up, these people, majority of them, have made their debuts in national tours. They haven't, I think one person in the cast has been on Broadway. I could be wrong though. But we're going to dive in and talk about each cast member, starting off with Darnell Abraham, who played George Washington. He originally was in a national tour of Hamilton, playing both George Washington and Aaron Burr. He was also in a national tour of a revival of The Color Purple, which I need to study that musical because I heard it was really good. But anyway, Darnell Abraham as George Washington, yo, he was pretty broad. Like, he was like very, he had really good presentation, and he has a very strong tone, and, you know, he's like a very, he's a leader, right? He was the first president of the United States, so of course, if you're going to play George Washington, you have to be really strong, and I thought Darnell played a really great George Washington in that one, and he always keeps Hamilton on check. Next up is Brandon Louis Armstrong, who played Hercules Mulligan in Act 1, and also played James Madison in Act 2. So, there are a couple of characters in this musical that play different characters depending on the act, opposing that there are a couple of characters that play the same character throughout the musical, like Hamilton, the Schuyler Sisters, George Washington. So these characters, such as James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, and another one, it was like Alexander's son, Philip Hamilton, they play a different character in different acts. So with Brandon's performance, I thought he had a great delivery, and he was amazing as Hercules Mulligan. James Monroe, actually, let's talk about Brandon real quick. Brandon, it doesn't really say much about his work, so I'm assuming this was his debut with this national tour of Hamilton. So I gotta say, that guy making his debut, I thought he had a lot of experience doing national tours and off-Broadway shows, because he had a great a great performance quality. I thought that he had a great a great interpretation of James Monroe specifically, and yeah, I thought that he was enjoyable to watch. And then we have Ashley De La Rosa. She played Peggy, Skylar, and Marla Reynolds, which, if you guys know in Act 2, Hamilton and Reynolds, kind of like, did a little thing behind Eliza's back. Anyway, Peggy, it says, Ashley De La Rosa, actually, she said that she was a standby on Broadway as Regina George and Gretchen. And then she was in a national tour of the Carole King musical as a swing. She was in a couple NBC shows. But Ashley De La Rosa, I thought she was really funny as Peggy Skylar. Because when I was watching the Broadway version of Hamilton, it's like, and Peggy, during the Angelica, Eliza, when they're introducing the Skylar sisters. Excuse me. I need water. Phlegm is the worst. It's the worst. Back to what I was saying about Peggy, I thought that she was funny. I didn't know if it was intentionally to be funny, but she was just over there like, and Peggy, like the third sister just being out there, But that was really funny. So yeah, I thought she was really cute. Just a little cute little, thing, just being like, Peggy. I couldn't help but to laugh. The audience laughed at that. That was funny. Okay, if you're watching this video and I pronounce your name wrong, please do not slaughter me. I don't know if it's Marja or Marha, but it's Marha Harmon, who played Angelica in this musical. It says here that she was understudy in Book of Mormon and Cat in the Hat Tin Roof. Oh, Cat on a Hat Tin Roof. Okay. I thought it says Cat in the Hat. And then she was in a couple of tours such as The Lion King and Ida. Wow, I should know Ida. Anyway, so Angelica, she's like the sister who looks out for Eliza. You probably know how the story goes and everything. I thought she had an amazing voice. She really took the stage in the middle of Act 1, in my opinion. I thought she was amazing. I was going to say remarkable, but they're both positive, good comments for adjectives. Anyway, so I thought that she was amazing as well. And again, most of these people have done national tours, so like either they were understudies or swings on a Broadway show, but they never actually had a major role on Broadway, except one, maybe one, but we're going to continue. Next up we have Rick Negron, who played King George. You guys have to cast a really, really smart actor to play a very comedic character without trying to be comedic, like King George in Hamilton, and they picked the right guy for this. But before we talk about how he did as King George, a couple of credits. He was leader of the pack, Drood, Legs, Diamonds, Man of La Mancha, okay, and Ragtime in L.A., and then he was in Mamma Mia in Vegas. He did national tours of West Side Story as Action, Riff, and Bernardo, and he also did Man of La Mancha. So he pretty much did Man of La Mancha and West Side Story for national tours. And I think he also was King George some other time. Or maybe it was this one. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop laughing during every song that he was in. Like, his interpretation of King George was just amazing and genius. And I love the delivery because this is a character I feel like speaks a lot of truth about like the consequences of, like, hey, you guys are going to be free. Know that I'm going to send an army to kill you guys to show you my love. And then just like, oh, you won the war, awesome, yay, you get independence. And then they see how the country runs. He's like, oh, I'm going to sit and watch. So like, him just trying to be very formal as a king and then just like trying to just like hold his excitement to see how things would fall is just so brilliant. Another actor named Paris Nix. This guy, a couple credits actually. He was in a couple of shows like Empire, America's Got Talent, Good Morning America. He was Broadway rising star as the Carole King musical. National tours he did was Hamilton in Chicago, playing the same character. He played Marquis de Lafayette, or Lafayette. Is that how you say it? Lafayette? I should know that. And Thomas Jefferson in Act 2. I have a lot to say about that for Thomas Jefferson. He did a couple of like regional stuff, like Seussical, The Wiz, Once on This Island, Les Miserables, Ragtime, Five Guys Named Moe, and Shrek. And then he just did a couple of other shows and stuff. So yeah, I want to specifically talk about him as Thomas Jefferson. He was funny, yo. I enjoyed him in the rap battle against Alexander Hamilton. And I love how he was like trying to play cool, and then like he wins president and he's like, So I thought he played a really great Thomas Jefferson. In Act 1 when he was playing Lafayette, because he's French, I kind of had a little bit of a hard time understanding word by word what he was saying. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it was the accent, but I felt like it was just kind of hard to pick it up. But, I mean, he had energy, and, you know, I thought that he really killed it, yo. Like, he was off the hook, bro. Next up, we have Victoria Ann Scovens. She has made her debut with the Ann Peggy Company. And then I think this is her first national tour. And she played Eliza Hamilton. Oh my gosh, I would have thought that she would have had more experience, because that performance that she had, she delivered. If you're going to play Eliza, you have to do a really fantastic job doing the song Burn. And she burned it. Like, she just delivered. She really made everyone feel it. Like, oh my gosh. It was amazing, bro. And, dude, like, I wish Victoria would continue doing more national tours, or continue being Eliza in a couple of other national tours of Hamilton, because that was incredible, bro. And then we got to talk about the main guy. We need to talk about Mr. Alexander Hamilton himself. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm just kidding. It's Julius Thomas III. So it says that he had a couple of credits for TV, like Sesame Street, Modern Family, and Good Morning America, The Today Show. He did like Broadway, and it says Broadway/tours. He did Hamilton, obviously. Let's see, Motown the Musical, Porgy and Bess, Shrek, and the 25th Spelling Bee. So he did a couple of national tours, but it doesn't say like Broadway credits. But anyway, Julius Thomas III as Hamilton. I thought he was amazing. I thought that he was very funny at some points. I thought that he had really great delivery. He really touched me at the end of the musical. Not to spoil for those who don't know Hamilton or haven't seen Hamilton. But yeah, I mean, dude, that was incredible, bro. Andy Tofa as John Lawrence in Act 1 and Philip Hamilton in Act 2. Yo, it was really sad for Act 2 for that character. I'm not going to tell you too much, but man, that was incredible. It says here that he doesn't have any credits from tours and stuff, but Andy, I thought he was really great as John Lawrence, specifically in Act 1. And then, of course, we have to talk about Aaron Burke, because he is kind of like the anti-hero of this musical. Mr. Donald Webber Jr. I have to remember that he was not the original one, because that's Leslie Odom Jr. But oh my gosh, this Aaron Burr was probably the best character in that production, in my opinion. Like, I thought that he was really charming. I thought he was really clever. I thought that he was very aware. I thought like he was just like, oh my gosh, the delivery of every single phrase and line and song was just spot on. He's done a couple of like Hamilton tours. He also done stuff like, it doesn't really say much. Oh, Hamilton, Puerto Rico. Okay, so he was just like in a couple other national tours of Hamilton as Aaron Burr, specifically Aaron Burr. He has that great look like the original Aaron Burr in the musical. Oh man, dude, like I had to keep reminding myself that wasn't the original Aaron Burr, but man, he was phenomenal, yo. And then, of course, everybody else is ensemble in this. And there's a couple swings as well and standbys. And they all have been mentioned. They have done multiple tours. And, I mean, they haven't said anything about, like, Broadway shows. These are people who, like, have been in national tours in multiple productions or with Hamilton. And, yo, that was a very strong cast. Like, the singing was on point. You could see all the details in the choreography that was so settled. And then, like, it just really fits with the music. It was like watching it on Broadway again at the Richard Rodgers Theater's performance when I saw it in New York. And, yo, it felt like I was back on Broadway, you know, because that was incredible, dude. So I gotta say, this is a 10 out of 10. This was a great review. If you guys are planning on seeing it tonight or tomorrow, because those are the last times you can see it if you guys are in Reno. Again, if you saw it in Reno and you want to tell me what you thought about this, well, actually, I already talked about the cast. Let's talk about the musical itself. Yo, like I said, it was literally kind of like with the musical on Broadway. That's pretty much how I could describe it. Like, I'm not going to go into too detail about the lightings, the music, because it's Hamilton. Like, it was so good, bro. If you guys are not able to see it, I mean, there's still some tickets for Once Upon a Mattress. We have 2 shows today and 1 tomorrow. Please, I'm in the show. Please watch me. Please. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back with another Chicle Chat episode next week, and I'll see you guys next time.